Empowerment with Dr. Josefina Monasterio.
Welcome back to Empowerment with Dr. Josefina, and I'm Laura Guttridge. First off, we'd like to thank Bedazzled for letting Josefina wear their wonderful outfits there, and she's got a very nice green dress on today.
Yeah.
Looks great with the background, yes.
I feel good.
Uh-huh. She always feels good.
I feel rejuvenated.
You know, something about having the right outfit on, I think, just makes you feel very good. Today's lesson, we're talking about repetition compulsion.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard it quite worded that way, but
What way did you hear before?
well, you know, it made me think about my husband being in the criminal defense work. He calls it repeated offenders.
Oh, okay. That's a good one too.
He's always complaining about repeated offenders. He's like, you know, they spend 6 months in jail. You'd think they would learn their lesson, but they get out of jail and then they start the whole, you know, the same shenanigans again.
Mm-hmm.
That got him in trouble the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you would think 6 months in prison and you'd learn your lesson, but you don't.
What about the people who spend their whole life as how do you call it? Repeated offenders.
Repeated offenders.
See, I call it repetition compulsion.
Yeah, that's
You know, so we have a lot of repeated offenders.
The fancier version for it, I guess.
Yeah.
Compulsive offenders are repeated. All mixed up now. So, but yeah, I think a lot of people, even myself, you know, sometimes, you know, you're guilty of it. And that is a big, basic lesson in life, to be able to reflect and make the right decision the next time so you don't wind up in the same situation. But sometimes, you know, it's like no matter how painful it is, they are repeating the same mistakes over and over again.
But there is a solution for that, Laura.
Right.
You know, there is here at the office, at the center, we have a technique called neuro-emotional anti-sabotage technique. Mm-hmm. And what happened, you go back to the original time in which you start practicing that behavior that is not taking you in the right direction for your life. So, you know, there is ways in which people can change that, so they don't have to be as repeated offenders for the rest of their life.
So in this lesson, they go back to the beginning, where that's probably a good idea, because I think in most cases people would naturally go to the consequence instead of the beginning.
Exactly.
And so it's probably better off to start from the beginning so you can understand, you know, what got you to that negative consequence.
Yeah. Because once you find out the original time in which you started behaving that way, then that empowers you to, because you find out, oh, that's what happens to me. Mm-hmm. But now I can change it. I can empower myself. I can be proactive. I can change my behavior. There is ways to do it, but sometimes people need to find help.
Right. So it's more like analyzing the negative, the bad behavior, as opposed to just focusing on, oh, you know, this happened to me, and complaining about all the negative stuff.
Yeah.
It's like take action and understand why. And is that part of your you talk about being a life coach.
Yes.
Is that part of it? So that was like a one-on-one?
I do one-on-one. I do seminars, group classes. So it's part of my practice to help people to eliminate all the things that are sabotaging their progress, their success in life. Mm-hmm. So that's mainly, that's what I focus on.
From a personal aspect on your part, do you find that more people are more comfortable with a one-on-one or in a group setting?
It depends. You know, the group setting is very dynamic, and then what happened, people bring their experiences, like in 1 week they see the difference, so they come back with the testimonials, you know, wow, this is what happened to me because I changed my attitude or I changed my thinking. So it's very empowering. Some people like the one-on-one because it's like, okay, this is what you have to do, and you have to go and do it. Both ways work, but it depends on the person. I like both.
Right.
You know?
And I'm sure either one is probably effective. And I think that the group setting would probably be positive for people that are a little more shy and want to kind of just sit back. And I think also people like to associate, they want to know that there are other people who are, you know, experiencing the same thing. Or you can read books, like you
Yes,
said. You know,
yeah.
just pick positive, motivational books. You know, in my Facebook, I had mentioned I was anti-cluttering. I was going through a closet, and my husband has all these old VHS tapes and those little cassette tapes that are so archaic.
Yes.
And they're all about these different motivational things. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do with these? They've been in this closet. I know he listened to them all at least one time.
Wow.
But I thought I was going to just throw them all away. And I thought, no, if he finds out, he's going to have a fit.
He's going to be a repeated offender.
Yeah.
He was going to kill you.
So he is a big fan of those tapes.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
seriously, he had a whole closet full of them. Seek help from family and friends. I think that's a good idea too, because everyone needs to talk to somebody. And sometimes, though, they're afraid to talk to their family because they don't want to like bring them into their problems.
And then you have to be extremely careful, because when you choose friends and family members to support you, you have to make sure that they're really on your side.
Right.
That they are part of your team. You know, because sometimes people have the fear that if I share my weakness with you, then in a future time you will use that against me.
Oh, it's true.
Oh, well, you said you were going to change and you didn't do it. You know what I mean? You have a setback. They very quickly remind you that you're failing. So, you know, you have to be very sure what family member, what friends are your really support system. The people who are going to stay with you regardless. You know.
Yeah, because once you start admitting your flaws, I think that then they analyze the rest of the things that you do.
Yeah.
And then you also have the fear of them telling other family members that you might not want them to
Absolutely.
know. That's why sometimes it's good to have the life coach, because it's kept,
confidential.
Yes,
Nobody's going to know.
confidential.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then another thing, though, that we could do all by ourselves is meditation.
Yes.
And
But you know, the problem is, Laura, I got a flashback here. Then people find excuses not to do it.
Yeah.
So what we offering them today, everybody who's watching the program today, stop with the excuses. We have the resources about dealing with this situation and many situations in your life here at the center. So the only thing you have to do is to make a phone call, find the information. There is lectures, seminars, complimentary, that we offer as an educational part of the clinic here at the center. So you know, call the office, 778-8877. Stop with excuses.
Absolutely. Everyone always has an excuse for everything.
No more. There is no reason.
No more excuses.
No.
And finally, learn to enjoy your life. And that's so important, because I think if people were happier, they would make better decisions. Because I think a lot of poor decisions are made because people are unhappy. Kind of like the example you used in the lesson about the person that goes out and drinks and is hungover, can't find his car. I think the original reason is because they're not happy.
Exactly.
And they're looking for happiness.
Yes, and happiness is not going to cost you anything.
No.
It's free.
Yes. And we live right by the beach. All you got to do is go walk to the beach and, you know, look out there in the blue waters and meditate. And
and count your blessings. Find the beauty about every single day. You know, be grateful, be thankful, count your blessings. You know, enjoy the best people that, you know, surround yourself with people who really care about you, people who are motivated, people who encourage you, people who want to celebrate you. You don't have to be with people who tolerate you, right, beautiful?
Absolutely.
We only have people who celebrate us.
We're celebrating life and ourselves.
Yes, we have a few more seconds, so we have to say bye-bye. Okay, baby, I love you.
I love you.
Mwah. Don't be a repeated offender.
No, repeat offenders.
We're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Empowerment with Dr. Josefina Monasterio.